What's going on, fam? So it's funny because many of us are not actually in a space where we need to change careers or change jobs. Some of us might be in a headspace where we make a good living, our job is sustainable, to an extent we might enjoy the work, but there's a level of dissatisfaction. There's something that's missing that we are unsure of what's actually missing. If that's you, I want you to stay tuned. This might be a helpful video for you.
Put on his neck, I'm coming in high, I'm coming in quick, got what I got, I'm so content, he calling me big, running up chicks. Running up, loving that flex. Been on that marathon nail. I run at my pace, they loving the sprint. Foot on his neck.
So this is an interesting video because part of my story is this feeling of being boxed in, being stuck professionally. My background, if you're not already familiar with, I've worked in higher education for about 10 years. So I started off as an actual sports performance coach, helping student athletes. I've since gone on to work as a student success professional. So as an advisor, as a career advisor, as a employer development specialist. And in this world of student development, career development, student success, you know, that's pretty much where I cut my teeth. That's pretty much where I found that, like, man, this is what I want to do long term, but I was running into this wall. I felt like I was stuck because the work that I was doing, it was fulfilling to a certain extent, but I felt like, you know, like there was something more. There was something more. Fast forward to where I am now, you know, being able to still, you know, work in this space as a career development professional, but also be an entrepreneur. Looking back, what I was struggling with was a lack of variety and a lack of purpose and not being able to work with the audience that I wanted to. So working in higher education, I pretty much was working with privileged white kids. You know, let's just keep it a buck. So now in my work, I get a chance to work with some populations that are underrepresented, underprivileged, under-resourced, and I feel like I'm contributing. I feel like I'm giving back and serving in a way that just God called me to, right? So I tell my story for a sense of how this video might be helpful for you all. So there's two things that I want you to walk away with this. One, if you're feeling like, man, there's this level of dissatisfaction, there's something missing in my work, the two tips that I recommend for you is one, go up, go in, go out. I know I said two tips. That's kind of like 3 in 1, but stay with me. Go up, go in, go out. But the second tip is to actually get some mentoring. Maybe it's mentoring, maybe it's coaching, maybe it's counseling. But those are the two things. Go up, go in, go out. Get some mentoring, coaching, and counseling. All right, so let's do this. So what I mean by go up, go in, go out is first, all of us are wired, created by God, for His glory, right? I don't know where you are in terms of your relationship with God. I don't know what your theology is, what your faith is, but the reality is it's always going to start with Him. Us as creation should want to know what the Creator has for us. If I go out and build a Lego set, you know, I want that Lego set to reflect, you know, my workmanship. I want it to reflect my I guess my image, or, you know, what I want it to look like, right? It's the same with our lives, right? We have a purpose for us. And so of course, like, we're wired internally just to ask God, what it is that you want for us to do, right? So some of us are often just at that friction point because we're not asking God what it is that, you know, you have for us. What is our purpose? So that's the first thing. The second thing is all of us are very unique. Different strengths, different raw talents, you know, different backgrounds. We're from very diverse communities, right? And then we have these natural giftings and spiritual giftings that need some exploration, right? So that's the go in. That's why I get excited as a career coach. You know, some common areas is like, what are our interests? What are our skills? What are our values, right? So oftentimes, you know, you might be very naturally skilled at socializing and engaging with, you know, specific populations. Some of us are good strategically, solving problems, being investigators, being innovative, being critical thinkers to solve a problem, right? So that's just some examples of what's inside of us, right? So it requires us to do some internal investigation to figure out what's inside of us. The last thing is to go out. So if we go up and inquire what is it that God has for us, we go in and we're starting to do that inventory of what's inside of us, what are our giftings, our strengths, our talents. You know, we have to then go outward to explore, what does the world look like, right? What opportunities are out there? You know, if I look at the landscape of the workplace, you know, are there certain opportunities geographically? Like if I live in the rural parts of the world, you know, am I not going to have access to maybe doing the type of work that I was called to do? Or looking at it from maybe you are called to serve a certain type of people. Where are those people, right? If I don't have access to technology, where do I need to go to serve those people? Those are just two examples of being able to go out. And this is a very simplistic formula, right? Go up, go in, go out. But I promise you, if you start to just think about this, do some reflection, doing a little bit of the groundwork and the road mapping, like it's going to be like a huge weight is lifted off of your shoulders, right? And the cool thing is you're going to get affirmation from your path. You're going to look back like, oh, that's why God brought me through, you know, that season of life. That's why I struggle with XYZ. That's why I had to meet those people in my life. So when you look back, you'll kind of get some aha, some epiphany moments from, you know, just that go up, go in, go out process. Second thing, last thing is we need people. Right? We need people to help us. One of my favorite Bible verses, I think is Proverbs 27:17. I should have researched this before I mentioned the verse, but as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another, right? We're wired to be communal people, right? We need each other. Sometimes we need a mentor in our lives to speak some truth to us, to help guide us, to get us from point A to point B to point C, right? We need somebody to help give us constructive feedback. I'll never forget when I was interning at Bridgewater College. So this is when I was aspiring to be a sports performance coach. You know, I had one of my mentors, his name was Coach Healy. Shout outs to Coach Healy. He's the head strength coach at Gallaudet University. And he pulled me aside. So I'm a young black, I think 20-year-old man, maybe a junior in college at the time. He pulled me aside. He said, "Hey, Q, you got to dress the part. I know that you are serving, you know, peers that are kind of your same age group." But he challenged me because I walked into the weight room with some baggy sweatpants. I just looked very casual, right? I didn't look set apart to be a strength and conditioning coach. I didn't look set apart to have the trust of, you know, the folks that I was coaching. I looked at this opportunity as a very casual opportunity. So when he gave me that feedback about setting myself apart, looking professional, being professional, right? That was some really great coaching and mentorship that he spoke into my life. That has transitioned and translated for my own future years down the road, right? So I just give that tidbit that it's so important for us to be sharpened by other people, right? Folks are going to help guide us. They're going to give us some constructive feedback that's going to bless us, right? So hopefully that makes sense in terms of getting mentorship, counseling, or coaching to help you in your career. All right, fam, I hope that video was helpful for you. If you need help, if you're feeling stuck in your career, do not hesitate to reach out. You guys can access our services, our resources at lenorecoaching.com, including our 60-day career change course. You guys can hit up me and also access our book, Purpose Driven Work, on the website as well. It's on Amazon as well. And if you also want to connect with me, shoot an email at info@lenorecoaching.com. Your boy's also accessible on social media. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn. Let's do it. Let's connect. Let's get to where we need to go. And then that's it. I hope this video was helpful for you. Y'all be blessed out there. Keep doing your thing. And salutes to you. Be blessed. Take care.
Put on his leg, I'm coming in high, I'm coming in quick, got what I got, I'm so content, he calling me big, running up chicks, running up, loving that flex, been on that marathon nail, I run at my pace, they loving the sprint, foot on his neck.